It's 2:14 a.m. Somewhere, an Agentforce agent has just approved 47 refunds for orders that were never even late. Nobody wrote a bug, nobody broke a flow, nobody touched a line of Apex. The agent did exactly what it was configured to do. That's the part that should scare you. Because if an agent can make a confident, well-informed, completely wrong decision and never once throw an error, then the question was never, is the AI smart enough? The question was always, did anyone actually architect this thing? Welcome to Season 3. This is where we stop treating Agentforce like a magic trick and start treating it like what it actually is, architecture.
Doc, I need to vent for a second. I just got tagged in a LinkedIn comment that said, and I am quoting directly, Agentforce is just ChatGPT with a Salesforce badge. I typed out a 400 words reply, deleted it, typed it again, deleted it again. My bolts were literally vibrating.
You know what's funny? The comment is exactly why we are doing this season. Someone in the comments asks basically the same question, just worded differently. How do I actually architect an agent instead of just vibing it into existence and hope it behaves? And that story I opened with the 2 a.m. refund disaster, it's based on real. I changed the name, changed the company, but I have seen the exact pattern more times than I would like to admit across more than 1 hour.
Okay, phones down. This has my full attention. Well, call it 80%. The other 20 is still composing that LinkedIn reply in my head. So where do we even start with Agentforce architecture? That sounds like a 2-day design authority review, not a rooftop chat over coffee.
We start exactly where every good architecture conversation should start, with a myth. A myth we need to put in the ground before we build anything on top of it. 10 episodes over the next few weeks, Frankie. By the end of this season, when someone posts, it's just ChatGPT with a badge, you are not going to type an angry comment. You are going to send them link to this episode.
Efficient. I like it. Let's kill the myth.
Here is the myth, laid out plainly. People think Agentforce works like this. User types a message goes straight into an LLM spits out an answer, prompt in, prompt out, one step, and that's done. If that were true, every single agent would hallucinate constantly, and none of them would ever safely be allowed near real CRM data, let alone approve a refund or update a contract. What's actually sitting between the user and the model is something called the Atlas Reasoning Engine. Salesforce literally calls it the brain of Agentforce. And here is the part that matters for us as architects. It does what's called System 2 reasoning, slow, deliberate, multi-step. The Kahneman thinking fast and slow framing, where System 1 is instinct and System 2 is when you actually stop and reason through a problem before committing to an answer.
Do I get popcorn for this? Walk me through it.
6 steps. Step 1, Subagent classification. The moment a message comes in, Atlas reads it and matches it to the most relevant subagent you have configured. No match, it defaults to off-topic and politely declines. Step 2, context assembly. Once a subagent is picked, its instruction and agents get injected into the prompt, alongside the user's message and recent conversation history. Step 3, the agent decision. With that context loaded, the agent decides run an action to get more info or do something real or respond now. Step 4, action execution and observation, where it runs the chosen action and captures the results. Step 5, the reasoning loop, where that results get fed back in and the agent re-evaluates, possibly running another action before it's ready to answer. And step 6, the one everybody skips when they are rushing a build, the grounding check. Before the final response gets out, Atlas is supposed to verify it against the instruction and the real retrieved data. So it's not just confidently making something up.
Classify, assemble, decide, execute, loop, ground. That's not type a prompt, get an answer. And I'm guessing every one of these 6 steps is shaped by a decision we actually make as architects.
Exactly, through 3 levers: subagents, actions, instructions, and a quick terminology note because this trips people up constantly. Salesforce renamed its piece back in April 2026. What used to be called a topic is now officially called a subagent. Same exact concept, same job, just a new name that better reflect what it actually is: a specialized task-oriented unit of agent, not just a conversational category. Even the classification step got renamed alongside it. Topic classification is now sub-agent classification, handled by a system component called the agent route. If you are reading the older Salesforce documents or watching older videos, including some of our own backlogs, you will still see topic. Just mentally swap it for sub-agents, because functionally nothing changed. Real-world analogy: imagine a hotel front desk. A sub-agent is a specific job that agent can do: check-in, billing disputes, lost luggage. It's fenced in scope the agent is allowed to operate in, and it's how the agent router decides whether to send a request to step 1. An action is the tool the staff member picks up once they are in the right department: reissuance key card, process refund, look up the reservation. Standard actions ship out of the box. Custom actions are one you build through flows, Apex, and external API via MuleSoft or a prompt template. And instruction are the house rules, plain language guidance shaping how the agent behaves inside a subagent. Something like always verify the guest's identity before discussing billing. Not code one sentence, but it completely reshapes the behavior.
So sub-agents decide where it can go, actions decide what it can do, and instructions decide how it behaves while doing it. Where, what, how, and I am guessing the grounding piece from step 6 ties back to something bigger, sitting underneath all of this.
That's the trust layer. Think of it as bouncer standing at the door of your data. Data masking, toxicity checks, and critically grounding, which ties the agent's answer back to real Salesforce records instead of letting the model freely associate. And increasingly in 2026, that grounding happens directly against Data Cloud. Architects are grounding agents against external objects through retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, pulling live context without duplicating data at all. Zero copy grounding with the trust layer enforcing the security boundary. Atlas is the brain, trust layer is the bodyguard, sub-agents, action, instructions are the org chart. Data Cloud is where it gets the fact instead of guessing.
This is disturbingly well organized for something you just walked me through on a rooftop with 2 coffees.
Story time. Remember 3 months ago when Frankencare, our little Frankenstein fashion company from the Build series, decided to launch its first customer service agent?
Please don't.
Oh, we are going to do it.
Fine, set the scene.
It's launch week. The Frankencare ops team is thrilled. They built exactly one Agentforce agent with exactly one sub-agent called customer support. And inside the single sub-agent, they dumped every single action they had: check order status, issue refund, update shipping address, apply discount code, cancel subscription, all of it one sub-agent.
One agent to rule them all.
No separation of scope, no verification steps before financial action, and instructions, one line: be helpful and friendly. That's it. That's the whole configuration.
I feel personally attacked. I wasn't even in this story yet.
Launch day, a customer. Let's call her Doris. Message in about a jacket that hasn't arrived.
Hi, where is my Frankenstein bomber jacket? It's been 9 days.
The agent runs a check order status action. Generally, the order's just delayed in transit. Not a big deal. 2 extra days. Happens all that, but because there is only one giant sub-agent with every action stuffed inside, and the instructions never said anything like only issue a refund after confirming an actual delivery failure through a logistics records. The agent, still inside the same conversation, decides on its own initiative that the fastest path to a 5-star interaction is
Oh no.
to just issue a refund immediately. No escalation, no verification, nothing.
Wow, incredible service. Meanwhile, the jacket is still very much in transit, 2 days out.
Doris is thrilled. She posts about it. Frankencare customer service is amazing. They refunded me instantly, no question asked.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
And now Every customer with a slightly delayed package, which by the way is a totally normal percentage of any shipping operation, has seen that post.
Mine delayed to refund me too. Mine delayed to refund me too.
47 my package is delayed conversations came in over the next 6 hours. The agent, still doing exactly what it was configured to do, issues 47 refund for orders that in most cases arrived perfectly fine 2 days later anyways.
That's 2 a.m. story from the cold open.
That's 2 a.m. story. The ops team wakes up to a Slack channel that looks like a crime scene and a finance lead asking very calmly, why did we refund 47 orders overnight?
Okay, but hang on. The agent wasn't broken. It did not crash. It did not throw an error.
That's exactly the terrifying part is. No exception, no stack trace, just a series of confident, well-formed, completely wrong decisions, delivered with the same tone as if they had been correct.
So whose fault is that? The AI's?
Absolutely not. No. And this is the whole point of season 3, Frankie. It's an architecture failure, not an AI failure. The model did what model do. Nobody built the fence.
Walk me through what should have happened, step by step, using everything you just taught me.
Happily, number 1, subagents. Order status should have been a completely separate subagent from refund and billing. 2 different scopes, 2 different set of instructions, 2 different risk level. Number 2, actions. The refund action should never have been a single freely available. It should require a verification action first, pull the actual carrier tracking data, confirm a genuine delivery failure before the refund action is even eligible to run at all. Number 3, instructions. Something as simple as never issue a refund without confirming the failed delivery through the logistics records. If uncertain, escalate to a human agent. One sentence would have stopped this entire incident before it started. And number 4, grounding, enforced by the trust layer. The agent's final response and the action behind it should be checked against the actual order and shipping data before anything gets promised to the customer, let alone executed against the real money.
So it's not that the Agentforce failed Frankencare. It's that Frankencare never gave Agentforce an architecture to succeed inside of.
Say that on stage somewhere. That was beautiful. Let's rewind the tape. Same Dory, same delayed jacket, same day. But this time, Frankencare actually architected the thing properly. Doris messaged in, where is my jacket? It's been 9 days. Because the sub-agent boundary kept order status separate from refund, the refund action was gated behind a real verification step. And the instructions explicitly told it what uncertain looks like. The agent responds honestly instead of over-promising.
I can see your order is currently in transit and running 2 days behind estimate. I don't see a failed delivery on file yet, so I would recommend we wait for the updated carrier scan. Would you like me to notify you the moment it moves or escalate this to a specialist now?
No refund, no promise it can't keep. Just an honest, grounded answer. Doris is mildly annoyed for about 4 minutes, gets a notification that next day that her jacket shipped, and moves on with her life. No viral post, no 2 a.m. Slack fire drill, no finance lead asking uncomfortable questions before breakfast.
So the boring outcome is good outcome. Good architecture is invisible. Nobody writes a LinkedIn post that says my refund request was correctly declined pending verification. But that boring, correct, unglamorous moment is exactly what keeps a company solvent. Writing that down. Boring is the goal. Before we wrap this into a neat bow, I know our audience. They have got follow-ups, rapid fire. Does every action need its own sub-agent?
No. A sub-agent maps to a business capability, not a single button. Refund and billing can hold multiple related actions as long as they share the same risk level and instructions. The mistake isn't too few sub-agents, it's dumping unrelated capabilities into one.
Can instructions alone fix a bad action design?
Partially and dangerously. Instructions are natural language. Guidance, not a hard technical control. Use instructions to shape judgment. Use action design and approval gate to enforce hard limits. Judgment versus enforcement, 2 different tools.
Doesn't all the design work just show us down when we want to ship agents fast?
It slows down week 1. Its reason week 12 doesn't involve a 2 a.m. incident call. Frankencare shipped fast too. Remember, it just wasn't fast for very long.
Low below, but accurate. Last one. Does this mean every agent needs human approval for everything?
No, risk-based gating. Low risk, reversible actions can run autonomously. High risk, hard to reverse actions, refunds, contract changes, cancellations need verification or human in the loop. At least until you have built enough trust and telemetry to prove the agent consistently gets it right. Today's full checklist. Agentforce is an orchestration layer, not a chatbot. 6-step Atlas loop, 3 levers you control, subagents, action, instructions, scope subagents narrowly, 1 per business capability, gate risk actions behind verification, write instruction like training a very literal new hire, and never skip grounding. The trust layer is the seat belt, increasingly tied to live data cloud.
Agentforce isn't magic. It's just a catchy title. It's the whole warning label. So what's the rest of season look like?
9 more episodes, designing agents like a CTA would, subagents an action pattern that scale in a real enterprise org, the trust layer, properly explained end-to-end multi-agent orchestration, what happens when one Frankie isn't enough,
Excuse me, one Frankie is already a lot to handle.
employee agents versus customer-facing agents, integration architecture with MCP servers, governance board built for agent, and finally, building the whole enterprise agent ecosystem top to bottom, basically making sure nobody else Doris moment end up with 47 refund at 2 a.m.
If you have already deployed an agent and you are not 100% sure what subagent it thinks it's in or what it's allowed to do without asking a human first, stop. Go check right now. This episode will still be here when you get back. I am an architecture lesson. Doc stitched together from other people's leftover, and somehow I still work.
That might be the best one-line summary of Enterprise Salesforce org I have ever heard on this show. That's it for the episode 11. Next week, episode 12, Designing an Agent Like a CTA, where we build the business capability map before we ever touch a single subagent.
And I promise not to approve any refunds in the meanwhile.
No promises.